Breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. Your breathing is your greatest friend. Return to it in all your troubles, and you will find comfort and guidance. Welcome to another exciting episode of Daily Life Hero. I'm Rachna Khanna, your host, and I'm so thrilled to introduce our extraordinary guest today. She's a transformational empowerment coach. She's also an international speaker and breathwork practitioner whose work has empowered countless individuals to achieve their highest potential. Today, she joins us to inspire and enlighten us with deep insights into her remarkable journey. We will explore how she has advanced her compassionate approach to personal growth and healing, transforming lives through her unique blend of coaching, speaking, and breathwork techniques. Get ready to be moved, get ready to be motivated by her incredible story and practical wisdom. Let us welcome and please a huge round of applause for my guest today. Let's put our hands together and welcome Dee Zummer. Hi.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be here tonight with you, Rachna.
Thank
It's
you so much. It's
yes.
absolutely a great honor that you're here, and I see you and you matter, Dee. Thank you so much for saying yes, and I'm sure our listeners will love what you have to share with us. So I'm really excited for today's episode. So let's start. Are you ready? Are you excited?
I am 100% ready. Very
Beautiful.
excited.
Me too. Awesome. All right. I know a part of you, a little bit of information about you, but I would love to hear about you. I would want you to share about your journey. What inspired you to become a breath worker and a coach? Tell us everything about your story.
Yeah, it's a very powerful story, I feel.
Mhm.
Over the years, from childhood up till probably 3, 4 years ago, I have endured a lot of trauma.
Mm.
And I was looking for a way to process. I had done all the talking therapy, but I felt like there was more in me that I needed to release. I felt my emotions were stuck. And talking therapy has got its place. But I found at the time that I needed more. I wasn't, how do I say? For me, I was finished with the talking, but I know in my body there were so many stored emotions. And how could I tap into them?
Mm.
So I started very lightly, first of with yoga, where you do breathing,
Mm.
and it was good for me. And it was a very good introduction to breathwork. After done yoga for a while, I decided, no, I need more.
Mm.
So I explored breathwork. And I was apprehensive, first off. I thought, okay, I'm going to have a look. I will test the waters. I will just be lying down, but I won't be breathing. I just want to see what's going on.
Mm.
And even though I was very lightly breathing, emotions came up. And I thought, oh, wow, what's this? This is powerful.
Mm.
And after that, I enrolled in a program where we were doing like every second week breathwork. And I really started to access my emotions, and it was actually overwhelming. So with that, I was in a program for 10 weeks. We did our first 2 breathwork sessions. And after that, I was told not to come back. And I queried why.
Mm.
I am this program. This is what I want to do. And in one way I could understand. He said to me, your nervous system is shot. It will be too much. But I also felt that at the time they couldn't hold the space for me because there were too many people and not enough support. So I was quite upset and I asked for tools. So I said, I'll feel open. I've got all these emotions like circling in my body. What do I do? Because I wasn't used to that. I don't know how to process emotions. And unfortunately, I wasn't given any tools. So probably with breathwork, it wasn't a very good experience for me, but I knew the breath was the medicine for me because I had experienced how I could access my emotions. Then I decided to do some one-on-one sessions, which helped me exploring me, releasing some emotions, and it was scary at times. Things were coming up and how my body wanted to release, but I also was like, I was resisting because I didn't know where it was going to lead to. Then was it back in 2022, I enrolled in another program and it was for 12 weeks. Every week we had a breathwork session. And it was in a very small group. Plus there was plenty of support. So I explained my experience, what I had with breathwork, and person said at some, okay, you will be safe here. I will make sure you're safe because I felt not safe. So I started that, and my goodness, was that a transforming experience because I was starting to feel safe with other people there supporting me, but also I started to feel safe within my body to actually release. So a lot of sadness came up. There was anger. They allowed you to scream, to whatever, to move, whatever your body was telling you. And then I realized, I thought, wow, this modality is so powerful for me. I need to spread this to the world because I can tell you, it has saved my life. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking.
Wow.
Yes. I was still halfway through the program, and then the person of the program was offering breathwork facilitation course for 12 months. And I thought, I need to do that. I need to get in there. But I'm only halfway through my journey, but I knew how powerful it was. So I applied, and the mentor and I, we had a discussion, and he said to me, he said, I was so hoping you were applying because I could see you would be able to hold the space for people because of the stuff you've been going through and how breathwork have transformed you. You will be just the perfect person. So I started my breathwork facilitation course, and this is not just a course what is done 4 weeks online. I think for people out there, it's very important that when they do a breathwork session, they actually investigate the facilitator. What course have they done? Have they done a lot of work on themselves? Because that's so important to try and understand people because you're dealing with people with trauma. You need to know what it can do to the body, how to hold space, how to close them up again after a session. You can't learn it in a 4-week online course. So my course was for 12 months. Plus, every week, I supported one of two sessions in Perth here. So you get actually the practical experience. You learn the science behind the breath. You learn how to observe somebody's breathing pattern. You learn how to repattern their breath. If you see the breath is not going in certain places, you can facilitate. So it helps to bring up the emotions. It's was amazing. So I finished that now. And even now with my mentor, he will actually send me referrals because he knows what I can do, how powerful I am, what I've gone through, and how I hold space for people. It's very important. I do one-on-one breathwork session at home. I am doing group events, and also I'm going to break into the corporate world and hold events for companies. And I might start off first off with breath awareness, so they know what a breath can do, but then go into a breathwork session because it alleviates, that's such a stupid word, alleviates stress and can unlock their potential as well. Because in the corporate world, it's very stressful to work.
Of course.
If they can release that, they will have less people calling in sick all the time. They will they will reach their peak of performance as well. And I think that's so powerful. I know the breath I'm so passionate about it. I can't stop talking about it. And even when I was doing the breath work, I was talking to my daughter about it. And she said to me at one point, Mom, shut up. This is enough. So I decided to not talk about it anymore and just to show her what it has done for me. And then she came to me one night and she said, Mom, I need to do what you're doing. So she came to breathwork sessions with me, and she knows too how powerful this is. And the beauty of it, everyone has access to it. Everyone is breathing. As soon as you are born, you start to take your first breath. When you die, you finish your last breath. Within that time, the breath is there for you. And with different techniques, you can access so many things. And just with the breath, what I'm always saying, like, when you are in a situation and you're shocked, what do? You're holding your breath. What do you do when you walk like past a bakery? You smell the fresh bread. You go inhale it all in. And with the different technique, so what I use for trauma release and alleviate stress is either call it the conscious connected breathing or the holotropic breathing. So you're connecting your breath in a circle, which then bypasses your conscious mind, goes in your unconscious mind, and the body is so clever because it knows what is ready to release. Once you bypass your conscious mind, because you start breathing and then you think, oh, I am doing this right, what's going to happen? You get all these questions. The 5 first minutes are so important just to try and do that cycle. You get in the unconscious mind, and whatever is ready to go can be released. And of course, some people get an overwhelm. Then we've got techniques how to down-regulate, bring them back to safety. Instead of like your open mouth breathing, we start to do nasal breathing. We do maybe the box breathing. We do the 4-7-8 breathing because it just reduces the anxiety and the overwhelm. And if then the participant is ready to go again, we do that. If they're not, it's fine. We just roll them on the side and let the body just integrate what they've been going through.
Wow.
Yes, and the integration is so important. It's a big thing. Safety, people feeling safe with you. Create that safety is a big must. And then after the breathwork session, some emotions still might come up over the next couple of days. You have to talk into those things and let people know that is normal. That's okay. And if you've got any questions, you can contact us. So make sure you do self-care activities. you ground in nature to bring yourself back down again. And also when you start the breath work, it's so important to talk into what people can experience during the breath work before they start. Because when they start breathing, then they will think, okay, yes, Dee has said this might happen, so it's normal. It's okay. I can just breathe through that. And for me, holding space for people is my passion. When people are releasing, if they start crying, they can start shouting, screaming, they can have laughter. It's all welcome. I'm celebrating with them because I'm there like, yes, they're releasing stuff, but it's holding them back. Yeah.
Wow, so powerful, Dee. I had almost goosebumps all over my body when you were talking about your passion. And yes, it is very powerful. And I remember one of my clients said, when you talk about breathing, it just stresses me out. And
Mhm.
I remember holding space in that moment for my client. And I said, that's okay. You can feel this way, and there is nothing wrong in it. It just,
No.
and as soon as I said, okay, don't breathe, and my client looked at me and I said, what? And they were breathing. That's it. You can breathe. And the passion, the power that you carry, Dee, is at another level only. And the way you just spoke about how your journey started, how you overcame, sorry, and then you have established yourself as such a powerful breath worker that you're holding space for people, and it could be anything. It could be joy, laughter, screaming, anger. And that is so powerful. Thank you, Dee, for what you're doing. And I'm sure most of our listeners would be curious for the next question that I'm going to ask. What do
Yes.
you think are most common misconceptions about breath work that you encounter on day-to-day basis?
A lot of people don't actually know what breath work is. So I think that's where it's most important to explain about breath awareness.
Mm,
Do some light techniques, some light exercises, so they actually can feel, oh, I can see what's going on here before
mm,
you really dive deep.
mm,
Unless they have investigated and know what's going on and what can come up, is, yeah, I think the education is so important.
mm, mm,
Um, and I think that was for me as well. That's probably why I started first off with yoga,
mm.
because then you do breathing with your, what do you call it? The movements and exercises you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But then I also felt that was not enough. I needed more. And some people are scared, and it's normal
Mm,
because if you have endured a lot of trauma, there's a lot of stuff coming up, and it's often people will say, oh, is this not going to be too much? But
mm,
if you are with a dedicated, very well trained practitioner,
mm,
they will guide you. Will never be enough. They will down regulate you when they see you going in overwhelm.
mm,
You can introduce safety anchors, which I did for myself as well,
mm,
because I often went in overwhelm.
mm,
So I created a safety anchor, which was it's my hands like this.
mm, mm,
And it's getting too much for me. I put my hands like this and I visualize myself at the beach.
mm,
So
mm,
then my nervous system is coming back down again.
mm, mm,
Once you back down, maybe you can go again to regulate in a breathwork session
mm,
is very important, but you also then have techniques how you can self-regulate you or down-regulate yourself
mm,
when you get in situation at work or with your partner or whatever outside.
mm,
You get this panic and then you think, okay, I put my hands like this.
mm,
So often when I talk now, I put my hands like this. I don't even know when I'm doing it.
mm,
All of a sudden, oh, yes. but it brings me down straight away.
So you would say that the biggest misconception could be that they don't see a pattern, and maybe there is a possibility they don't exactly know what is breath work. They don't know what defines breath work. Because I remember most people would come and say, I'm breathing, and that's, what else would you teach me in breathing? And there are so many different types of breathing I know of, and I'm really excited for you to tell us what are the different breathing techniques. For example, if I was at work and I was feeling overwhelmed. For example, you said you were overwhelmed. Is there any simple technique for somebody to just come in the present moment and break that overwhelmness in that scenario?
Yes, absolutely. So probably when people start to observe their breath, a lot of people will be very shallow breathing just in the chest.
Mm,
They not going down in the tummy. And that's where a lot of emotions get stored as well, of
mm,
course. When you get in overwhelm or in an anxiety or panic attack,
mm,
there's a few breathing techniques. You can use the box breathing,
mm,
which is you breathing in for 4,
mm,
then you hold for 4,
mm,
then you breathe out for 4,
mm,
and you hold for 4 again.
mm,
So your system is down regulating.
mm, mm,
That's a powerful one. Then we also got a 4, 7, 8, we call it.
mhm,
So you're breathing in for 4,
mhm,
then you hold for 7.
mhm,
And then what you do, you blowing out for 8, but it's very slow. It's like you breathing out through a straw. Like,
mm.
and then you can go again. It's so calming.
Yeah,
I am using it a lot myself too.
yeah.
Because I am human. I still get my anxiety attacks, but I recognize them.
Mm, mm,
Being aware is just the key.
mm,
I know when it's coming up, and I just go to the toilet and do my exercise and then come out, I'm fine.
mm,
And it can also help when you can't go to sleep.
mm,
Do either the box breathing or the 478,
mm,
it helps you to calm down. The breath, I've got an event next week coming up, and I've called Experience the Power of the Breath because I know it's just, I first off couldn't believe it. It's just breathing. But oh my goodness, what the breath can do and what you can access is just phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful. I'm curious, Steve, if you can help me because you started telling me by saying that you did try with yoga and maybe meditation as well. Do you
Yes.
think that breath work intersects with other wellness practices such as yoga and meditation? Do you think they work in combination?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Mhm,
Probably with yoga, they've got different types of yoga as well. You got the slow yoga, you got the fast yoga with the positions, you got the yin, the nidra. It's different yogas, positions of what you do, and with the breathing, what you do at the same time. Like when you do a pause, okay, you breathe in, and then you like release and you breathe out to another position.
mm,
So I think it's a very good way to start
mm,
because it's just, if you go from nothing to full on breath work, it can be a lot.
mm,
And I will say too, breath work is not for everyone. You're
mm,
gonna have to be brave and bold.
mm,
You have to be able to say, I had enough. I want to release. I want to heal.
mm,
Breath work is very intense.
mm, mm. Wow. I'm
Yeah.
curious, and I'm curious now when you say it's not for everyone and it's pretty intense. When you say that, for our listeners specifically, and if somebody is not sure that, yes, emotions are stored, body keeps a score, emotions are
Yes.
stored in our body,
Yeah.
and it is absolutely in mental wellness, mental well being, and most of the people are talking about it. They're talking about this is something that we can do is breath work. It's easy,
Yes,
it's instant, it's in reach, it's within you.
yes.
When you say it is intense and somebody has to be ready for the benefit of the listeners, when you say that, what does it exactly mean? What would you suggest to our listeners?
If you don't understand really what breathwork is and what it can do and how it can help you, I would suggest to do a breath awareness
Mm,
session first.
mm,
So you get a little bit of access to what a breath can do
mm,
and see how you feel
mm,
after that. And you might have to do a couple of them. And that's a lot shorter session as well. So you access just a little bit. It's like going to the gym.
mm,
Just you access that muscle a little bit, you see what can do, but you can again down regulate or you can stop.
mm,
You can not stop, maybe. It's you just get an introduction what the breath actually can do.
mm, mm.
But for some people, breath work is intense
Mm, mm,
because once you bypass the conscious mind,
mm,
the body knows what to release, and it can be a lot. You might have flashbacks,
mm,
but it can be beautiful at the same time too.
mm,
You might have get some very clear insights.
mm,
You visualizations you might get as well.
mm,
And I always say too, have suppressed your emotions for a long time.
mm,
It's not just we don't really have bad or good emotions. They are just emotions.
mm,
You don't want to label them like that.
mm,
But people can relate to that. So I do want to speak into that. It's when we are releasing like anger and sadness, it
mm,
can be heavy, full on. And
mm,
you've suppressed it for so long, but you also have suppressed your joy and your laughter. You
mm,
can't just suppress one, you suppress them all. And in a breathwork session, what I explain too is when you start breathing
mm.
and the person next to you might be crying,
Right.
if you feel laughter coming up, don't let it stop you. Let it come up because you're not laughing at the other person. You
Right.
are on your own journey. That's so important to know. If you want to laugh, just laugh. And I had people just some people go from crying to laughter, back to crying to screaming, and back to laughter again. It's whatever the body wants to release or experience.
I
It's
love that, Dee. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still sometimes mind blown by what it actually does. And the feedback what I get from my clients is like, wow, I need this to do this more often. I got a lot of one-on-one clients.
Yeah.
I've done a retreat where I was the breathwork facilitator. And it's so beautiful to hold the space. It's so exciting. I just love it so much.
I can see it. I can feel it right
It's,
now. And
I wish everyone would do it. Because
yeah.
everyone has got things in their life, childhood traumas or whatever has been.
Mm,
Everyone's got it. And we can release that and we can unlock things in us.
mm,
What I feel like I have unlocked my gifts with breathwork
mm. Wow.
to be more facilitator and a coach. And I do Reiki and things as well. And people come to me and sometimes think, why are they coming to me and talking to me? Because I feel safe.
Wow. That's a huge, that's big.
Yes, safety in breathwork is the number one priority.
That is huge. I
Yes.
love that. Thank you so much, Dee. And I love how you said it. Breath work is a hard work. It's not for everybody. For example, if you want to go and do gymming, just go with the trainer and see how does it feel and build your muscle around it. And I love the fact that you said be aware, get awareness around your breath. uh, attend some sessions about breath awareness. How does it work? What does it do? and what are the benefits, what is it that you can come across. And I love that once you're aware and you feel ready, go for it, because if you're ready to face your emotions, and whether you label it or not, because all emotions are valid, and you
Yeah.
hold space for your emotions when you go deep inside. And I love the fact when you said it, when you cross the consciousness and you go deeper in your unconscious, you're so connected with your body and you're ready to release. And when you release it, it could be joy, it could be
Yeah, and once it is gone, it's gone.
love. Wow, that is so powerful.
That Yeah, and I think that's why it's also important when you say the term breath awareness or breath work.
Mm.
Breath work is work.
Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes you have to work through quite a few sessions before you get actually a breakthrough.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I
And
love.
it's again for everyone is different as well.
Yeah. And I get that breath work play a very important role in emotional healing and personal
Yes.
growth, because you channelizing yourself by breathing into the emotions, and you're growing into a beautiful being of being self-aware. Wow. Beautiful.
And that,
Wow.
that's one thing what I say too, probably with the breath work, what I've done, I was doing the breath work like on a regular basis, like nearly weekly, and probably how long? 18 months ago,
Mm.
I couldn't speak on Zoom like this.
Wow.
I was in a coaching session, in group session. I would hide. I
Wow.
would not speak. I was terrified.
Mm.
And then with breath work, it opened me up. And then when my mentor said to me, "Oh, now you have to start speaking in class," I said, "No, I'm not speaking. I'm not speaking. I'm not doing that. I will facilitate.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking." He said, "No, you have to." He said, "No, not doing it."
Yeah.
"No, you have to." I did. And then I was like, actually, that was not bad at all.
Yeah. That's
I
it.
opened myself up to something else again. Then I was thinking, like, one day I can see myself on stage.
Wow.
Not thinking it was going to happen that quick. Because after that, the thought came to me. I got an invitation in inbox to speak in France on stage
Wow.
at the International Women's Conference. And I thought, oh no. I thought, oh, maybe I can do it over Zoom. And then I thought, no, I'm gonna do it properly. And
Yeah.
I did it. And you know what? It was amazing.
Yes.
I loved it so much.
Yes.
Just share again, it's like this, share my journey.
Yeah. That's it.
See what can do. It's just it's there for everyone to experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. And I know I have seen it, I have witnessed it, and you smashed it when you were in France. And I've
Yeah.
seen that journey, Dee. You have come so far. And my heart is full of love for you right now. And I love it when you say that you full bloom when you talk about your people, when you talk about your work that you do, and you have so much love to give, you have so much love to share with people. And I was curious, how do you combine your, because now you're an international speaker as well, so how do you combine your skills as a coach, speaker, and breathwork practitioner to create a holistic approach to empowerment? What does it take? How do you do that?
How do I do that? It actually comes organic. I that that's the thing too. I'm not even advertising myself much or anything. It's coming to me, and I can decide this is what I want to do or this is too much. Because as everyone knows, you have to have a balance in life as well. But I don't know. I don't have. I can't say I have a strategy. It just comes and I take it on.
Mm. Yeah,
So,
that's it.
yeah, it's when I get invited to events, it's okay. When I was invited this to this retreat, I was a participant on the retreat for these people.
Mhm.
In January, they had a breathwork session there, and then they asked me actually as a participant. She said, "Can you please hold the breathwork session? Can you help us?"
Mm.
And I did. And then they said to me, "Oh my God, you're so talented.
Well done.
Can you be the facilitator at our next one?"
Oh,
There
wow.
are so many applications, but they said, "No, we want you. We know what you can do in your talent." But with the breathwork, I do like aftercare session as well, where then the coaching comes in.
Mm.
It's a very powerful combination, breathwork and coaching.
Actually, that's my next question, Dee. So, how do you integrate breathwork and coaching to help your clients achieve their goals? How do you do that?
So the, first off, you will have a discovery call, whatever you want to call it, with the person and see what their goals are, what their pain is, what they want to achieve.
Mm. Mm.
And then slowly we do like breathwork sessions. So I alternate with a breathwork session and then a coaching session.
Mm.
And through the breathwork, we are tapping in different emotions. And then with the aftercare session, we talking about these emotions and trying to understand where does it come from? Where did it show up in our life? How does it show still up in my life now? And how can we break that pattern and reframe,
Mm.
reframe the whole emotion, the thought about it. And I think a very important thing is that when emotions come up, don't try to attach a story to it.
Mm.
It's emotion. And that was for me such a big thing. When I had emotions come out, I needed to know where this was coming from. Otherwise, I wasn't satisfied. You don't need to know. It's an emotion. It's stored in your body. Experience it. Have compassion for it. And just let it go. It,
Mm.
it doesn't need a story, because that's when we get back in our head again. We want to be in a body, not in the head. So you got your thinking, you got your emotions, and then you got your sensations. So get in contact with those sensations and do a body scan. Like, where do I feel it? What does it do? But not so much what does it mean. How can I release? It's normal. Normalizing is so important as well.
Wow, that is epic. I think that is a golden nugget that you said. One is the breath work, and the second is aftercare. I love it how you have named it and titled it. And
Yes.
wow, so much power and empowerment to the person that I'm here, I got you. You feel it, and then
Mm.
you feel it as well. And this is amazing, Dee. I love it. And I'm sure our listeners will learn so much about it. And maybe they will come up to you and ask you, can you please coach us? Can you hold space for us? And I would be absolutely happy about that. Can you share any inspiring story for one of your clients, if that's okay for you?
Uh, So when I was doing my course and I was supporting people in class, so they went through the program as well.
Mm.
There was one person there that was saying like, I don't know why I'm here. I'm fine. Partner wants me to do this.
Mm.
Or sometimes, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted now too. Sometimes they coming with a partner and then they will say to us,
Mm.
"Oh, I'm just here to support my partner."
Mm.
And you know what happens? The supporting person has got the biggest release because they need it even more than their partner.
Wow. Wow.
But I've seen people too where they would come in and they would not even make eye contact with you. They
Mm.
would not speak. You can see every week they're starting to make progress, where then after 5 or 6 weeks, they sharing stuff where you thought, Oh my goodness. You sharing this with us. Like in week 1 or 2, you couldn't even look at us. And yeah, it's such a fulfillment to see as well for us, like how people changing. It's big, it's massive changes.
Yeah. Your story is so inspiring, Dee, and then hearing from you, you creating that space for people, and they are on their journey and they're able to shift who they are and claim themselves
Yes.
with the work that they do with you, which is awesome. That is incredible.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks ago, we did a corporate event with a couple of us, and it was very interesting. And they asked us at the end if we warmed our hands on a fire before we were touching them, but it's just for energy in a body.
Wow. Mhm. Mhm.
It's nothing we do to warm our hands and then place them on a body. So we do body work at the same time as well when they do the breath work. It's
Mhm.
it's a lot of the intuition comes up as well. We know just exactly
Mhm.
you observe, but sometimes you get drawn to stuff as well.
Mhm.
And
Interesting.
especially I think with my Reiki, it's just double whammy.
Yeah. That's very interesting that you said it because you have included couple of skills in within you. You have developed those, right? Reiki is another healing
Yes,
strategy that we can use on our clients, and coaching, of course, is another skill that we have,
yes.
and breath work another. So, how to stay updated, if at all, there is any new developments in the field, in the research, in the breath work or coaching? How do you stay or keep updating yourself?
Looking for things online, what I can learn more, different techniques, different strategies. I'm going to other people's events as well and see how they do it and if I can incorporate that. When I was back in Holland in March after I finished in Paris, I went to a few breathwork events there.
Hmm.
I learned some different techniques there. So you constantly upskilling,
Mm,
you constantly developing.
mm. Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more in tune I think you are with people as well. And it was very interesting for me actually because I was holding breathwork in Holland as well.
Yeah.
To deliver that in my own language was it was a challenge.
Mm.
But I think what was even more powerful for me, receiving a breathwork in my own language, it unlocked a whole lot of other things for me.
Wow.
Yes, and I th that's probably one of the things too. We had a client here what was Dutch, and it was very hard to actually, what we say, somewhere in the term, crack her open. It was very resistant, and at one point I thought, you know what? I'm gonna speak Dutch to her.
Yeah.
I said a few words in Dutch, and bang, she
Mm.
started releasing. It was just the triggers he needed just to. Oh,
Mm. Mm. Wow.
so yes.
That's incredible. And it's lovely that, and I love it how you keep yourself involved and receive it as well. It's not that you have learned the skill and that stops. Yes, of course, that's forever that you have learned. And you keep developing yourself, you keep attending.
I do breathwork sessions like every month myself,
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
and I do it with someone. I'm not doing it by myself.
Mm. Mm.
I want that support person there.
And you recommend that when you're doing the
Oh
breath
yeah,
work, there is a support person required.
yes. I think it will also, if you know there's a person here to hold the space for you, it will also allow you to go deeper.
Mm.
If
Mm.
you're holding the space for yourself, you might not want to go as deep because you're not sure what might come up.
Mm. Mm.
So that's why when I do breath work, I do it like either in a group or a one-on-one.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
know there's somebody there. So I can go deep.
Beautiful, lovely. So I'm curious, what advice would you give for someone who is hesitant to try a breath work, who is just, I don't want to. What advice would you give?
What advice I would suggest to have a one-on-one with
Mm,
somebody
mm,
and do a lot of breathing techniques. So not your open mouth breathing,
mm,
but nasal breathing.
mm,
So that tends to be a lighter session. So if you do that, it's not as overwhelming. So I think it's a very good introduction into the breath work.
mm, mm,
And even during the session, if they feel like they can handle more, you can invite them to do the open mouth breathing. You just have to gauge that. But I highly would recommend it to really everyone needs it. It's whether you're willing to go there or not, it's up to the person. And sometimes you might not ready now, but maybe in 2 years' time you are. I wasn't ready for this 4 years ago.
mm.
No way I could do that.
Yeah, mm,
So it's a growth within yourself as well.
love it. Absolutely love it. That is a beautiful advice. And I think somebody who is reluctant, somebody who do not know or is in awareness, just go with it. Just do one discovery call or discovery session with someone and see. Reach out that how does it feel and start slow. You don't have to
Eh,
do.
yeah, and I would highly recommend if they choose someone to do research on that person. What have they done? What type of breath work have they done? How long was their certification course? What type of work have they done on themselves?
Mm,
Because you can be a breathwork facilitator, but
mm,
not have done any breathing yourself. You don't know what you're talking about
right.
or how to hold space for people. It's so important to research that
Mm,
just to make sure that the person kind of explain to you first what you can feel, what can come up, or how we do the body work, the emotions, what can come up, the visualization, what can come up, anything. So you talk into all of those aspects so they know when they start breathing, I'm experienced this because you can get cramps. But I know Dee has told me this can happen. It's okay.
mm, mm,
I'm safe.
right.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much, dear. Really appreciate. Is there any mantra or piece of wisdom that you live by every day and you would love to share with your audience?
I think a big thing is loving yourself. So I'm trying to, and I'm human too. I'm not perfect. So I'm trying every day to tell myself and look in the mirror, I love myself.
Yeah,
Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love somebody else either.
beautiful.
And you cannot give from an empty cup. Your cup has to be overflowing. That's what you give. If your cup is just full, that's just for you. Your cup has to be overflowing. And that's through a lot of self-care and self-love. That's how you fill up your cup.
Love it. I love it. I'm a huge promoter of self love, compassion, and care. And I
Yeah.
can go on talking about it. So, thank you for reiterating the fact that your cup is full, it's for you. It has to be overflowing for others to have a
Yes.
part of you and you can share it with others. Love that mantra and that piece of wisdom. Thank you so much. Now,
There's so much to,
yeah. And one last thing, I'm
yeah.
excited and I want our listeners to take huge benefits from you. How can they connect with you and learn more about your work?
So I do have my personal Facebook, like the Diane Sama. I've got a Facebook group what is named Breathe to Succeed. I've got a page which is called Release to Rise. So any of those means you can either comment on a post, you can DM me. I'm on Instagram as well. Yeah, any
Awesome.
way possible connect with me. I love to share. I love to help. I love to hold space. It's This is my passion, and this is what I'm meant to be doing. I know that. I think one powerful statement is that, and I wouldn't have said this years ago, that I am so glad for the stuff, for the things, the trauma I went through, because that made me now, that made me now helping other people.
Mm,
That's the gift out of it.
mm,
And I would never thought of a gift out of trauma. What are you talking about?
mm,
But now I can see. Now I actually can say I'm thankful for that.
mm,
Was it nice? No, it was not. But now look what I can do.
mm.
Look what I've been gifted with. It's amazing.
So powerful. What
Yes,
you just mentioned, of course, we have not touched about your trauma, what you went through, but I would love to, if that's okay, in our next future episodes, we can, so that
yes,
we really know, yes, there is something which exists. It was deep, it was hurt, it was not good, but there is the light at the end of the tunnel.
yeah, 100%.
There is something that you can do about it, like you did it, like what you did it, you did a lot of hard work on yourself, and you're
Yes,
on the other side and you're helping people, which is beyond. I don't even have a word what to say about it, but I'm hugely grateful to you, Dee, what you do. And I am sure our listeners are absolutely grateful to you. They will be grateful to you for what you offer to the world. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our episode today. And I'm hopeful that our listeners enjoy it too once they listen to us and they share comments and they share their thoughts and they reach out to you, they reach out to me, any which way that we can help. And I'm sure
yes.
we'll have benefit.
And thank you so much inviting me to this podcast. And I'm more than happy to do another one and actually share about my traumas and what I've overcome, because I know it's not a very powerful session, podcast, whatever you want to call it. It is, because it hasn't been little things.
Mm,
It's
mm,
been huge.
mm, mm, mm.
And you know what? I'm still going through stuff now, but how I'm handling it now, wow,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see you, Dee. I see you, I hear you, and I know it. You have put in a lot of hard work and have
Yeah.
seen you grow. Thank you so much for what you're doing to the world. And I'm sure there are a lot of many people who are getting inspired right now in this moment. So thank you. Thank you so much for saying yes. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us. Thank you so much for sharing all the wisdom and the knowledge and your snippets on breath work. Why is it important? How you can get benefit out of it. I'm truly grateful to you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you right now. It's been an honor to do this.
Thank you. Thank you. And for our listeners, thank you so much for watching. If you're here, don't forget to subscribe us. And if you have any thoughts, any comments, do not forget to share your comments with us. Studies have shown that controlled breathing can significantly reduce stress. One study found that participants who practiced deep breathing exercises had a 50% reduction in stress scores.
Mm,
Breathing is helpful. Breathwork works. Breathwork is amazing.
yes.
She is here as an expert to offer her services as a breathworker. Do not hesitate to reach out. Do not hesitate to reach any one of us, and we are there to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a wonderful life and an amazing time ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dee. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.